This one we classified here as ERP readiness. It really touches a handful of challenges. In this specific case, Ultra was asked to come in and provide some support and pause and replan and reestablish the project. In retrospect, what we really were walking into was a set of challenges. This client was trying to move especially fast. And of course, we can appreciate that anyone wants to move the project timeline as aggressively as possible. But when you're aggressive through the planning stage, you potentially leave some stones unturned, and it can cause headaches down the line, which is kind of what we found here. In this specific case, they had quite a bit of custom development requirements that they had identified prior to even starting the project, which is great. They understood the interfacing. They understood some areas where the system had gaps that they were going to have to address, and that's good. But where they failed to adapt was that custom development drives a lot of additional testing requirements. As you might imagine, the system works a certain way. If you completely change the way something works somewhere, then you're going to have to really zero in your testing effort in that place to make sure that it's really up to par and in line with the business. Unfortunately, the project plan they had in place was what you'll sometimes hear people refer to as the happy path. It's the standard order. It's the customer we know, the products we stock, the prices we know. So their testing cycles were really kind of developed along those lines. And it caused a number of problems, right? Because ultimately they sort of looked at it that way and they decided to do 2 testing cycles. In most cases, 2 is light for almost any business. But when you introduce a bunch of custom development, naturally that's going to definitely challenge your testing budget. So in this case, unfortunately, there were some cost overruns. This would probably be a good example of how things didn't go so well. Ultimately, in this specific instance, they had to double their testing cycles from 2 to 4. And as they had to really focus in on devising those test scripts and making sure they were covering that new custom development, it pushed timelines and cost out as well.